Hey guys, Jaydon and Rylee here. Welcome to your burn yourself.
Almost.
Welcome to Tweet Talk. Today's episode, we're going to discuss calories. This is one that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, I think. And I think it's something that we need to discuss because we've had a love-hate relationship with calorie counting. And probably more so a hate relationship with it for a really long time, and we wanted to sort of explain around that and give you a bit of insight as to what our thoughts around calories are. Yeah. And how they can be implemented in a holistic way, and how they are often not implemented in a holistic way.
Yeah, I think that's,
to raise awareness.
That's predominantly where the negativity,
the love-hate comes from.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly. We get people coming into the gym all the time, wanting our advice and whatnot. And yeah, it's all about the macro counting. And if it fits the macros, then it's perfectly fine. But there's a lot of other things that we need to take into account. Yeah,
100%. We'll also explain what, if it fits your macros, what that actually means, what is a macro, what people are talking about.
Yeah, and how you can get caught up with the numbers and just how you can get really caught up in the whole thing in general. It can be, there's a real stigma around it.
I think so. I think it's really important to understand that we're coming from a position of health, and that's our number one priority. So someone said to me the other day, what's the best exercise to lose my belly fat? I'm thinking, the best question would be, what's the best exercise and what's the best nutritional routine to improve my health as best as I can? I think that's what we need to look at.
The reduction of your belly fat is what comes with it.
Correct. Yeah. The muscular development, the reduction of body fat comes with improved health.
Exactly.
So can we set improved health as goal number one?
Yeah.
And then have muscle mass increase, have body fat reduction, have joint stabilization, all come as a spin-off of improved health. Because if your health is improving through nutrition and exercise, and those things happen as a byproduct.
Yeah, and humans, we're so excuse my French, but we're a bit fucking weird sometimes because improving your health isn't sexy.
No, it's not.
It doesn't sound cool.
No, it's not. No. And that it's really good.
Getting abs does.
Yeah, that's right.
We're so weird how we're attracted to those things when really, the umbrella that sits over it all, improved health will give you all of those things.
Stuff. Yeah.
Obviously, I don't this is such a controversial subject on its own. Having abs, it doesn't mean you're healthy.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Having seeing every single muscular part of your body isn't healthy, so I think everyone really needs to find, there's no one size fits all and everyone sits at their optimal place. So and that is sustained energy, feeling strong, healthy hormones, all that jazz, really feeling really balanced in your life. That is what overall health is. So
I think it's also important to understand, because I think Rylee and I have both been at a point where we've had abs, and we were really lean because that was what the goal was.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what we knew now. Yeah. But if you're out there and your goal is to have abs, I don't think that's a bad goal.
No.
At all. For a man or a woman, whatever your goal is okay. But what we're trying to get across is that there's a way in which you can do that.
Yeah.
Most of the way. That's going to improve your health.
Yeah.
There's also another way to do that, which we see on a regular basis, which is why we tie this to calorie counting. That's got nothing to do with health. And this is one of the issues that we wanted to raise. Now, we're starting to use calories as a tool because it ties really well in with our Volt scanner.
Yeah.
So we're using it as a tool, and I think it's a brilliant tool, and it's an extra tool that we can use and that you guys can use to help keep you on track and I suppose do your training or make your nutrition as efficient as it possibly can be.
Exactly.
However, calorie counting is not an excuse to eat shit and feel good about it, or feel no guilt about it. And this is what I've seen.
It's not no guilt, but just make like eating shit okay.
Yeah, I think it is no guilt. I think people get a calorie count and they're like, all right, so my calories are 2,000 calories. Without any education, they're like, all right, so if I eat less than 2,000 calories, I'm going to lose weight. And if I eat more than 2,000 calories, I'm going to gain weight. So let's eat 2,000 calories.
Yeah.
So if I eat 2,000 calories by consuming Hungry Jack's meal,
Yeah.
and there's my 2,000 calories for the day, simple, I just don't eat for the rest of the day. And we see this
Equals a metabolic mess.
yeah, but we see this on the regular. Hey, so
basis, yeah.
people talk about what are your calories now and what do you need to be under and all that sort of stuff. And then when you dig into it, they're doing Pop-Tarts for breakfast,
Waffles and ice cream.
whatever. And but I have chicken and broccoli for lunch, and it's like, well,
But
hang
then
on
I
a
have
sec.
cheesecake for dinner.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. But I stay within my calories. I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing about your diet that's healthy at all. There's very few nutrients. We need to look at this if we're going to improve your health.
Yep.
Yeah. This is when we have the skinny unhealthy thing. Hey. So the goal is to trim down as much as possible, and then, goddamn, what do we do with that when we get there?
Yeah.
And then what do we do with that when we're no longer counting calories? And then what do we do with that when our body's got no nutrients and we're starting to have metabolic issues and we're starting to have other issues? We can't go to the toilet.
Yep.
All this stuff that flows on from that.
Yep.
That's what we wanted to sort of discuss today, because I think there's so much in this topic. So
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a run sheet here. If we don't stick to this, we're going to blow out time like really hard. So
Yeah.
so let's do that. So when we're talking about calories, guys, calories is just a unit of measure.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Measures energy.
It's an energy measure.
Energy measure
100%.
in food. So, you know, we in Australia on all our food labels have kilojoules. Ours is measured in kilojoules, or
Yep.
kilocalories is another word for kilojoules. And over in the States, you'll see more
Calories.
So they're calories.
Yep.
But
Most of the apps come from the state, which is
Yeah.
why, like MyFitnessPal,
Yeah.
uses counting calories. So does, I think Weight Watchers was founded in the US, which
Yeah.
is why we count calories.
Yeah.
But the Australian standard is kilojoules.
Yeah.
But basically,
They're the same thing. They are obviously, you know, a kilojoule measurement is a lot bigger than a calorie,
Yeah.
but it's just like centimeters to millimeters. Same thing.
same sort of thing. Yep.
So, yeah.
4 times, hey.
Yeah.
So 1
Yeah.
calorie is 4 kilojoules.
Yeah.
4
So
calories
to
is
give
1
you
calorie.
some perspective, in a carbohydrate, which is a type of macronutrient, it's an energy source, you've got 4 calories per gram. Protein is the same. There's 4 calories in 1 gram of protein, and there's 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. So fat obviously is a little bit more energy dense. So that just gives you a little bit of perspective around how many calories are per gram in each type of macronutrient.
Cool. So when someone says, what are you doing for your diet? And they say, I'm doing the if it fits your macros thing.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean?
So they'll be given a daily macronutrient breakdown. So they'll have so many carbs, so many proteins, and so many fats to hit
Yep.
within that day. And
Which falls under the umbrella of a certain number of calories.
calories.
So if I'm given, let's just make it super simple. So if I'm given 1,500 calories for the day,
Yep.
they're going to say that I should eat 500 calories of protein, 500 calories of carbohydrate, and 500 calories of fat
Which
to
is
make
not
up my...
going to be what it
Yeah.
is.
This
But
for...
this is just for an example.
Yeah, for a simple example,
Yeah.
that's if it fits my macros. Hey,
Yeah.
so the day's nutrition should comprise of 500 calories of each of the key macronutrients, and that's how I'm going to go about it.
Exactly. So you
Cool.
could have Cocoa Pops and milk for breakfast with a piece of toast with butter and syrup.
Yep.
And you could have
A good
a
lunch.
hamburger and chips for lunch, and you could have spaghetti with garlic bread for dinner.
Mhm.
And
And so how do we calibrate that? So we use, say, something like
MyFitnessPal. Yep.
and you type in hamburger with 2 pieces of lettuce, 2 slices of tomato,
Yep.
a white bun, and 500 grams of chips.
Yep.
And it spits back out to you. That meal actually equates to
So many calories.
so many calories of protein, so many calories of fat, and so many calories of carbs.
Yeah.
So,
and then at the top, you'll see like your daily proteins, fats, carbs, and your macros. And as you go along throughout the day, as you log your food, it will tell you how many you have left.
Correct.
To get into
consume.
the day. So, you know, a lot of people might not get that many calories in for the day, and they might come home after dinner
and hook into something
and
solid.
oh, I haven't hit my calories today. I'm going to have a piece of cheesecake and ice cream before dinner.
Yeah, because it fits within my macros.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So it's important to note we're not picking on MyFitnessPal. We actually use it as a tool. It's actually really good.
We use it on the daily with our clients.
100%. So it's just a tool. The limitation is if you're out there and you're doing if it fits my macros diet, and you've had sort of no consultation around it, you maybe found this from an online calculator, maybe you've spoken to someone in the gym and they've sort of just said, oh, this is what I do. The problem with that is you can't see the quality of those calories. You can't see the quality of that food. So no one's saying, if it fits my macros, I should eat 500, 500 protein, carbs, fat. And it should be comprised of whole foods, real foods, that actually nourish my body.
Yeah.
So we just go about it the way we know how, and we just consume the foods that we're consuming, just with one restriction, that is calories. Yeah.
So I think, you know, it is scientifically proven that calories in versus calories out, it is, but not all calories are equal. So, you know, calories are just energy sources. They're, as we said, it's just a way of measuring foods. However, they do not provide us, like macronutrients, do not provide us with everything that we need to maintain our health on a daily basis. So a macronutrient is a protein, a carb, and a fat.
Correct.
So we could have, but then we've got also our micronutrients, which are all our vitamins, minerals, and cofactors that we essentially need for everything to work.
Yep.
So we need the energy sources, protein, carbs, and fats, in order to keep our body ticking along, provide us with energy, but we also need the micronutrients to be able to transport that energy and allow all the smaller physiological things to happen for us to stay healthy as well. Doing an if it fits my macros diet and eating shit will not provide you with those essential micronutrients that we need alongside macronutrients in order for macronutrients to work in the body and allow us to function. So that pretty much is that explanation, hey?
I think that's important. Also, even when it comes to your macronutrients, right? So if you eat a bowl of pasta, MyFitnessPal is going to record that as some amount of protein. It's not going to be much because it's predominantly a carbohydrate meal, but it's got to spit out some protein. Now, if you've got mince in the pasta, like the mince in the pasta sauce, that's where you're going to grab it from. But if you have the pasta by itself, still MyFitnessPal will spit out a protein requirement. Now, that doesn't, I suppose, place the importance on complete proteins, which contain the 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot make, that must be sourced from food, and it's sourced from food like animal meats, eggs, you know, fish, poultry, those types of things. So a bowl of pasta doesn't provide that. So it does provide some amino acids, which is why MyFitnessPal will spit out a protein requirement. Oh, sorry, a protein allowance for that particular meal.
A protein number.
But what we need to look at there is, are we consuming all of the essential amino acids required for our proper uptake of protein per day? And the answer to that is no. No,
because a food, for instance, a legume, they are not a source of complete proteins. You'll have to consume like 3 different types of legumes in order to get all of the 9 essential amino acids in that you need to form that complete protein. Which is sometimes impossible. That's why like a vegan diet is really hard to, you know, get all those essential amino acids in that we need. So, you know, another one is that buckwheat pasta.
Yep.
I always say, you know, buckwheat pasta is really quite high in protein in comparison with carbohydrates. Like it is a really high protein pasta, and I always recommend it to my clients, but it's not a complete source of protein.
Yeah. I don't even like that terminology.
No.
Rylee and I argue about this all the time.
We do. I totally agree, though.
I would prefer that we say that the buckwheat pasta is a high amino acid food than a
high protein food.
Yeah. You can't say, you've never said high protein. It has more protein than other types of pasta. Let's keep this into context. But I prefer not even to use the terminology protein, because people then think, okay, I can eat this for my protein requirement. It's not the case at all. Vegetarians and vegans watching this, I hope that you get from that little piece of little segment that it's
the importance of it. Yeah.
It's not easy to eat a healthy vegan diet. My goodness, I don't know if I would be able to do it for myself. The way you need to line up complete amino acids on a vegan diet takes some serious thinking and some serious calculation. So I take my hat off to you guys out there doing 100%. It healthily. To those of you out there not doing it healthy, seek some advice.
And educate yourself on like all your amino acids and what are in what food, so you can try and build a meal that will serve you with that, because 100%. It's really important.
It is super important. Now, I want to talk about this idea that a calorie is a calorie, because it fucking shits me so bad. And I try and apply an analogy around money to hopefully get this across, and hopefully it sort of comes across. The idea is, so you need to understand fundamentally that a calorie is a unit of measure.
Yes.
So that means if you've got 1 gram of sand and 1 gram of feathers, you've still got 1 gram, right? So if you've got 1 calorie of fat and 1 calorie of cheesecake, and 1 calorie of chicken meat, they're the same unit of measurement.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we understand that and we appreciate that, and that is correct. Cool. All right. The thing you have to apply to it is health.
Yeah.
So you cannot tell me that consuming your calories from cheesecake for the day, 1,200 calories of cheesecake, is the same as consuming 1,200 calories of chicken breast for the day. They're not the same. The unit of measure is the same. The energy expenditure or energy absorption is the same.
But the body is going to digest it, and the impact on the body is going to be
completely different.
Polar opposite.
So if I lost you there, this is the way I recommend it, right? If my goal is to save $1,000, my goal to save $1,000, is a spent dollar the same to me as a saved dollar?
No.
It's just fucking not. You know what I mean? Like, I can't spend $400 of my paycheck, save nothing, and the dollars be the same if my goal is to save $1,000.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, the unit of measure is the same. They're all dollars, whether I save them or whether I spend them.
Yeah.
But the end result is completely different, because one result I have no savings, the other result I have savings.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Oh, you didn't like that at all. Hopefully you guys understood that. No? The whole idea...
Yeah, I understood it. I hope no one got confused by that. But it's a unit of measure. It's
a unit of measure. A calorie is a unit of measure, regardless of whether you understand my fucking analogy or not. The unit of measure is one thing, but the goal, the outcome is completely opposite. So if you're consuming your 2,000 calories a day from fast food, and you compare that with someone that's consuming the 2,000 calories from whole foods that are balanced macronutrients and balanced micronutrients, with the goal to be improved health, you just can't tell me that a calorie is a calorie and how you consume them doesn't mean anything, because that's just fucking rubbish.
Yeah, and I think we've had a few clients in the last month or so that we've transitioned from if it fits your macros to eating shit, but still hitting their calories every day, not getting a result, wondering why.
Yep.
To now eating a really well balanced, wholesome diet within that calorie range.
Yep.
eating real food, seeing metabolic improvements, so their metabolism is fastening up even more, so we're able to then bump up the calories a bit more. They can eat more, which is really cool. So yeah, it's scientifically proven that that's just not how it works. Like, you can't tell me that a trans fat from a deep fried Chico roll, like, it's still measured as fat, right? Compared to an avocado. That's what you're saying. You know, avocado is full of those beautiful micronutrients, full of those amazing, good, healthy fats.
Measured the same.
They're measured exactly the same. So it's got to fit your macros, whether you have avocado or a deep fried Chico roll.
Correct. So if you eat 10 grams of
trans fats from the Chico roll, of 10 grams of
macadamia,
beautiful avocado, polyunsaturated, all those beautiful fats, you can't tell me that that's going to have the same effect on the body, because it's not. It's scientifically proven, you know, that trans fat's going to stick to the wall of your artery and block it. Whereas that beautiful avocado fat is going to, you know, help your body, provide energy, nourish you, give you beautiful hair, skin, nails, you know. It just...
Yeah, I think that's super important. I think on the, if it fits your macros, I think if you do that well, I think you can get a great result. 100%. But I think the part of the issue with it, and this is a lot to do with the fad diets, because if it fits your macros, it's IIFYM, that hashtag bullshit. If there's no education around it, if there's no explanation around it, I think it can be taken to what we just spoke on.
Exactly.
So if you're doing it, this is not to say to stop doing it. It's to get some education around the actual foods that you're consuming and to see if it's serving you and helping you move towards improved health.
Exactly. And knowing what you need on a daily basis. Not just energy, not just around the macronutrients, but the micronutrients. I think, you know, that whole, as long as it fits your macros, it's okay. But what about, like, you know, what if someone had, like, absorption issues? What if they had gut health issues? You know, a person that has a really good gut health compared to a person that has a really sort of bad, you know, imbalanced gut health, that you give them, and if it fits my macros diet each, the person with a really good gut health, really good absorption, really fast metabolism is going to respond so much better than the person that has a gut health issue or a deficiency in something, or, you know, their body isn't, they're starting with their body not running optimally. You know, so they're not going to get the same result as someone that does have a body that's running optimally, that don't have a deficiency in anything, or, you know. So I think it's really important to get in tune with your health first and correct any underlying issues that there may be before you even start sort of...
If it fits my macros, or even calorie counting.
Even calorie counting itself, you know, if you've got a gut health issue, if you're having symptoms of gut health, and I've had like 3 clients in the last week say, oh, I didn't even know that I had a gut health issue until we started this diet, or until we started this way of eating, I like to call it. I don't really like to call it a diet, but until we started this way of eating, I didn't know that, you know, I had a really bad digestion issue, I had really bad gut health issues. And they're starting to clear up. My skin's starting to clear up. Like, I didn't know any of this. I thought it was just normal to bloat after I ate. Or I thought it was just normal to go to the toilet once every 2 days. Hell to the effing no.
Well, also, I think applying all these numbers, so calorie counting, if it fits my macros, like using it out, this, that, can also complicate this way more than what it needs to. So how did you help reset those people? You got them to eat real fucking food.
Exactly.
Just, if you take nothing from what we say, ever, eat real food.
Yeah.
If you can eat real food, you're so much further down the line. Like, it's going to help stacks of things, but it will help correct your gut issues, your absorption issues right from the start. You can't tell me that if you go from eating a synthetic diet to a natural diet, you won't have better absorption. Exactly. I just don't believe it. Now,
as I said last week, you know, those synthetic molecules from food are foreign to the body.
Which causes inflammation and absorption issues and all that
real
sort of crap.
Foods is what we're made of. Our body recognises it, it's straight in, absorbed, done.
100%. So if you're out there thinking, oh man, I don't know what if it if it fits my macros means. I don't really know what calorie counting means. I don't know any of this stuff. Refine it all down.
Yeah, break it all back down.
Break it all back down. When you go shopping, go to the vegetable section, go to the meat section,
Yeah.
and skip everything in between.
Yeah.
You are 90% of the way there.
Yeah.
Then we need to look at doing things. Hey.
Yep.
Then if there's a specific goal, then we look at using tools like calories to help formulate the diet, to help make you more efficient, to help raise your awareness around the foods that you're consuming, and then sort of build out from there. Yeah?
Yeah. I think, for instance, I had a couple of clients that went from if it fits your macros to if it fits your macros, wholesome eating.
Yeah.
But we had probably a week or two where it was just focusing on whole foods, and really sort of, I would get a couple of messages saying, oh, I went over 200 calories today, but I feel really good, but and I just fucking forget the calories.
Yeah.
Get used to eating those whole foods and then start dialing in, oh, that's what so many grams of fat looks like in avocado. That's what's, then you can start eyeballing things. And I think it's a really cool step then to really step into not counting calories anymore and more of an intuitive way of eating, because you know what's in foods then, because this is where this is where it flips, hey.
Yeah.
Once you really get that wholesome diet dialed in, again, you have to live a little, you have treats here and there, whatever, but getting that really holistic diet foundation dialed in, and then sort of, maybe logging it here and there and just learning about how many calories are in certain things, and you can then really eyeball things and know what's in what and what, where you should be for that day. So
this is the whole process though. You have to walk before you run. So many people are running before they walk. We're counting calories before we've even learned to eat real food.
Yeah.
Let's learn to eat real food.
Yeah.
Let's learn to eat small meals on a regular basis. Let's learn how our body responds to fats, how our body responds to carbohydrates, how our body responds to particular types of proteins.
Yeah.
And then let's look at putting a structure in place to work towards a specific goal.
Yeah.
But if you do it the other way around, it's like, I don't even know how my body responds this way. And then all of a sudden I can only eat, this much and this much. And it's like, then you feel like you're dieting and you're restricted, rather than you've got a healthy way of life and you're eating foods to nourish your body.
Yeah.
And the comparison's, I think, really important, hey?
Yeah, I think the other thing too is that, I've seen people consuming things at certain foods at really odd times. So, they'll train, and, after you train, we always recommend to fuel your body with the substances that you've just lost or broken down, pretty much, which is scientifically what you do. So protein straight in, carbohydrates, really clean sources of protein, carbohydrates, water, electrolytes, micronutrients, because you've essentially just broken down muscle. You need protein to rebuild that, and carbohydrates. You need fats in there as well to help repair things. And then you need your micronutrients, because you've just sweated out a heap of electrolytes and you need to put them back in. So really putting in what you've just broken down and taken out is what we do. So someone will train and then they'll have a bowl of cornflakes with milk. What is that? There's fat and carbs. There's no protein. It's probably coming up on my fitness pal that there's 15 grams of protein in that, but that is not a complete protein. There's not all your amino acids in there that you need in order to rebuild that muscle back up, which then once you have that healthy muscle mass built, you've got a higher metabolism and you burn fat a lot more efficiently. So there's a circle there that people it's not going around in that nice cycle. It's just
that's a handbrake on your results.
There's a handbrake there. Down. Exactly.
What that bowl of cereal is after your training session, that's lifetime conditioning and not enough information.
Exactly.
That's what that is. So it's not a bad thing. So
it's
if you're out there and you're doing that, it's not a bad thing.
Nutrition is essential after a workout. You need to get that in.
No, but,
But-
the thing that's, I think, important to understand is that we've all learned a particular way of eating. So
Exactly.
you perhaps grew up your whole life
It's just a
eating
program you need
cornflakes for breakfast. I had cornflakes for
Yeah, 100%.
cornflakes
I had
for
stuff with
breakfast.
mix and stuff.
So it's not bad. It's just
Yeah.
not optimal.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to improve health,
Yeah.
which is what this series is all about,
Yeah.
is just raising your awareness around that and saying, all right, cool.
Mm.
What am I getting out of my dairy milk and my cornflakes
Yeah.
for breakfast?
Yeah.
Is it helping me improve my health? If you believe it is, man, power to you.
Yeah.
I don't believe that it is. I haven't seen anything that would make me think otherwise. So I can't recommend it.
Yeah.
Um,
And we might not say, oh no, don't do that anymore. Change that right now. We might say, you know what?
work your way
Add
through
2 eggs in there. Get
Yep.
your protein up from a whole source. A complete source of protein. Add 2 eggs, and then we'll work on maybe some whole grain toast and some like a
Changing,
spear of
substituting.
avocado, and then we'll substitute it slowly. But yeah, as you
process.
said, if it's been programmed into you, not programmed, but if it's something that you grew up on or you just don't really know any better, then yeah, it's good to get educated and know, what certain foods do at certain times.
Yep.
So it's really important. Another thing too is that your blood sugar, what you do first thing in the morning, really dictates your blood sugar levels throughout the rest of the day. Hey, like insulin and really keeping that stable throughout the rest of the day. So if you're having something that's really high in carbohydrates and processed sugar like cornflakes, you're going to get a really nice big spike in blood sugar, and you're not going to get that nice little ebb and flow that we want. You're going to get these huge big drops and
Well, that's it. When you get a
highs and-
spike, you get the inverse
you
drop.
get a massive, even bigger drop. So you're not going to be feeling sustained throughout the day. You're going to be constantly craving sugars, and you're not going to feel satisfied
Yep.
for the rest of the day. So it's really important to get educated on those things. Just because it meets your calories doesn't mean that it's going to serve you in so many different aspects. And I think that's what brings us into the next little section. Hey,
Calories in versus calories out.
yeah,
Yeah, the calories in versus calorie out thing is I've never liked it because it just doesn't speak enough to the health
it
side of
doesn't,
things.
but it doesn't. It's not a one size fits all either.
Yeah, 100%.
People do different things every day. So,
Yep.
like, we all have a different way of living, so
Yep.
to speak. Like, you and I are going to burn much more calories every day with the job that we do than someone that sits in an office all day.
Yep. But also the thing that you have to understand as well is that calories out in versus calories out too. So for those of you that don't know what that means, the idea is if you use more calories than you're putting into your body. So for example, if you put in 2,000 calories into your body, but you burn 2,500 calories for the day, you're in a calorie deficit and you're going to lose weight.
You're going to
Cool.
lose weight.
So there's a couple of problems here that I have.
Yes.
Number one
Me too.
is how you measure how many calories you expend. That's one issue. I think that's not tracked as well as it could.
And
The information that we get is not as accurate as possible. So to know exactly how much energy we've expended, I think is
But we're so
somewhat
different
difficult.
from person to person too. We all sleep differently.
yeah.
all-
But what I'm saying is, if you've got a tracker on, like
but like
it'll
that-
give you a tracking.
I know, but that tracker doesn't, as you said, that tracker's not going to tell you everything.
Yeah.
If you've got a underlying metabolic issue that you're not aware of, then that's going to affect things as well. So you can't really go off calories in versus calories out for yourself.
Look, I don't like it because the tracking issue is the number one thing that I don't like. But the weight loss thing is the thing that I don't
Yeah.
jive with so
No.
well because it works on, and this is what we spoke to last week, is that style of eating, I suppose, that calorie in versus calories out, or that style of eating and training, is predicated on weight.
Yeah.
So if you lose 500 grams, that's a successful week. Whereas I want to look at that and say, all right, where did that 500
Where did
grams
it
come
come
from?
from?
So if I'm consuming less than I'm taking in, there's a good chance that's coming from my muscle mass.
Yeah.
And that's not productive. I don't want to do that. I want to optimize the way I'm eating
Yeah.
and optimize the way I'm exercising
Yeah.
so I can reduce my body fat as much as possible whilst maintaining my muscle mass.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose some muscle mass. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
But our job is to maintain as much muscle mass as humanly possible,
Yeah.
whilst reducing body fat. Yep. There is some trade-off. You are going to lose some muscle mass. But we want to mitigate that as much as possible.
Yeah.
If we focus only on calories in versus calories out, I think the focus comes away from what am I actually losing to just losing.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to move away from the health thing.
Which also ties into what we spoke about last week about weight loss.
Yeah.
You know, what are you losing?
Yeah.
Is it like your hard-earned muscle mass that you need in order to have a fast metabolism, burn fat much more efficiently?
Yep.
Or is it fat mass? So, yeah, and there's a way around your nutrition that you need to structure your nutrition in order to do that well.
Yeah.
And feel energy, sustained, healthy, all of that. So, and that's where we come in. That's where we help. So,
Yep.
yeah.
I think there's a whole heap of dramas with it. So if you start to, again, if your focus is calories in versus calories out, we do start to see muscle loss. Then that's just a flow-on effect. So this is a circular approach, completely opposite to what Rylee was talking about before. This is like a snowballing of negativity. I think if you start to reduce your muscle mass, then you lower your metabolism. You start to turn off fat burning, particularly if you're too low in calories. You know, you start to develop hormonal issues. There's all sorts of things
major issues
that
start to come on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can really do a lot of damage that will honestly it'll take you a really long time to correct that.
Yeah, so it's like metabolic damage, metabolic burning, burnout, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And this is something that we see on a regular basis because calories in versus calories out is easy to understand, right? I consume 2,000 calories, but I expend 2,500 calories, I'm losing weight. So we often see the extremes of this. So it's like, okay, if 2,000 calories, if I expend 2,500 calories and I eat 2,000 and I get a result, awesome. If I eat 1,200, I'm going to get a better result.
Yeah.
If I eat 900, I'm going to get a better result than that.
Yeah.
That is not how this works.
No.
And the whole calories in versus calories out idea promotes that.
Yeah.
I think. I can expend 2,500, I'll just exercise heaps, and then I'll eat 900 calories, which is like fucking 2 apples.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to look like Al McPherson.
Yeah.
That is just not the way it works. So
in order to fuel your in order for your metabolism to work and burn calories, expel energy, you need to fuel it. And you need to fuel it regularly. So, you know, you'll have someone that, like, I'm not going to get all into, I know you'll get angry at me, but like, for your thyroid is essentially the master of your metabolism and your energy expenditure. I was born without one, but I know a little bit about it. Obviously, being born without one, I really hone in on this because it's something that I obviously need to know. But if you're under eating, your thyroid does not produce the amount of hormones that it needs in order for your metabolism to function well and fasten up. So, you know, you might see yourself, it goes to everyone, but like, you know, we have clients come in all the time, hey, and they're like, oh, I'm eating 900 calories and I'm putting on fat. Your body, goes back to what we spoke about last week as well, your body is in survival mode. When your cortisol levels come up, your thyroid shuts off because it's like, I need to hold fat. Your cortisol levels, by the way, is your stress hormone. So it's your stress hormones being released because there's no food coming in. You're in starvation mode. It messages your thyroid, messages a heap of other endocrine little places in the body too, to put really simply. Shut everything off. I'm in the middle of the desert. I'm starving, and I need to hang on to fat and fluid because I don't know when my next feed is. So that's when calories in versus calories out gets completely wiped off the table, because from here we need to correct your metabolism. Like, this is an issue here where we need to really start stabilizing your cortisol and get things working again, get your body out of that survival mode. And yeah, so straight away, like, we're going to up your calories a little bit, tiny bit, not like a heap, because that's just one extreme to the next. Like, we just don't work that way. Nothing works that way. So yeah, we'll up your calories a little bit. We'll just get things going, regular feeds on a regular basis with a nice macro profile for each meal. And then you'll slowly see that your body will start to drop fat and fluid, because it's not in survival mode anymore, and the metabolism's working, the muscles are being fed, therefore they're contributing to the metabolism, and you're burning fat as fuel.
And you feel better.
You've got sustained energy throughout the day, blah, 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 and then it works from there. So as you can see, calories in versus calories out isn't just, it's just not.
There's just more to the story.
There's more to it than what that actually means. So, you know.
I think part of the issue with calories in versus calories out is it works initially.
It does work
So
initially,
fuck yeah, I'm
and
losing
as you said, you'll just shave it off, and then it's like, holy fuck, I'm putting on weight, what do I do?
All of a sudden you plateau, then you start to put on.
My thyroid stopped working.
Correct. You're starting to slow your metabolism down, you're doing all of these things.
You've lost your period, like, it's just...
All of the things that come along with this, and it can be a real, as well as a physiological response, it can be a mental issue to work through as well, because you think you're working to improve your health.
Yeah, well, you might see yourself putting on some body fat and you're like, oh, I better take them calories back.
Correct. Yeah, but that's exactly right. So you think you're working towards improved health, and your body's like, hey, dude, rack off, I'm not doing this. And it starts to become less healthy. I don't know if that's the right term, but you're building in issues through that way of eating that are going to have to be undone in time. So it can be a real mental trip to work your way through that, because you think you're working towards improved health. Your body's like, this person's starving me, I don't know what's going on. And it goes into survival mode, doing all those things, slowing down the metabolism, holding on to fats, raising your cortisol levels, doing all of those things.
Which is what it's meant to do.
Correct. It's doing exactly what it's meant to do with the information that it has. Yeah, with the information that it has, 100%. So, I didn't want today to be all about bashing calories, because
they are important. They're extremely important.
No, I think it's an important tool.
Yeah.
To keep you on track, and to keep your nutrition efficient and effective, and to give you an idea of around portion size, that sort of thing. So it's important. But I think some really key takeaways from today is that you need to learn to walk before you run. And I would consider counting calories, I would consider that running, because if you don't have a foundation of eating real food, then I don't want you to count calories.
No.
And I think this will go against a lot of what professionals recommend out there, because a lot of people use calorie counting as the backbone. But I'd rather start coaching you on eating real food, seeing regular meals of real food, regardless of how big those meals or small those meals are initially, and then look to refine them using calories as a tool over time.
But dial in your health, get your gut health on point, because if you're not going to be absorbing the calories that you're taking in, you're essentially going to need more calories.
Yeah, but whoa.
No.
You're giving too much information now.
No, but do you see what I mean? Like, that's just an analogy of what you just said, you know? If you had a gut, like, for example, if you had a really bad gut issue, and you're taking in calories, and you're not going to be absorbing those calories, so therefore you're going to need more to come in. And you're probably going to feel that. So get that really solid base of health.
Real food.
Refined and dialed in before you even start counting calories.
Yep.
Feel really well. Get your digestion dialed in. Feel like get really balanced. And then you can start refining things a little bit more.
I think 100%. So
that's what I meant. I wasn't going to go on a tangent then.
Yeah, well,
I know I can.
I don't want to give too much information around
other things.
Just start with real food, and look at the goal that you have. So if you don't have a goal, the simplest way that you can implement a goal right now is to be as healthy as you can be.
Yeah.
All right, and if you do have a goal, if your goal is fat loss, if your goal is muscle mass, if your goal is to run 5Ks, put at the top of that goal to be as healthy as I can be.
Yeah.
And then let everything else filter down from there.
Yeah.
Your training methods, your nutrition, your hydration, all of these things filter backwards from there. Hey, and then get some help around that. I think that's super important. Don't this is really important stuff. The issue that I have with calories and calorie counting is that most people do that by themselves. You know, they punch in this thing, okay, and it spits out, you need 1,200 calories, you need 1,800 calories, and this is your breakdown, and just, all right,
and
go
if
for
I
it.
do that, I'm going to look like that person.
Yeah, and the idea is not health. Go with it with the objective to be as healthy as you possibly can, and to eat as real, eat foods that are real and that actually serve you, and ask for help where you need it, because I think this is worth it. This is your health. This is all you have. So I think you need to ask those questions.
You are what you eat. You are what you
Yep.
eat. So, yeah, super important.
Awesome. Okay, I think that's basically it. Do you think we bashed calories?
I think we did a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a bit bruised and battered, but
Yep.
I think, I think we really did, shine light on the positive side of it as well.
Yep.
But I think the main thing, the main takeaway is really, get that foundation of health dialed in.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely crucial.
Yeah, and it does. Some people find it really easy to count calories. Other people find it way too confusing. So you just need to do you and do what's best for you and what feels best for you. And if you need help with something, get professional help, because it's not something that you should be playing around with. It's your health, and that's all you have. So,
Cool. All right, that's it.
I think so.
Calories done. Hopefully you took something away from this. Hopefully, if you're out there, you're doing calorie counting at the moment, and maybe your food is not serving you as best as it could. We encourage you to take steps around that to improve that based on whole foods. If you're out there, you're not calorie counting, you're thinking of maybe giving it a go, let's take a step back and just start with consuming real foods on a regular basis, making sure you get breakfast, lunch and dinner and a meal in between. That makes 5 meals for the day. You're starting to build on small meals of real foods, which helps to stimulate your metabolism, which ticks all the
protein
boxes.
source in every meal.
Correct. So start at the bottom with the basics and then
work from there.
Build from there.
Yep.
Awesome. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great day. Have a great week, and we'll be back same time, same place next week.
Next week, yeah.
Cool. Take care, guys. Choose to be fit and healthy, and we'll speak again soon.
See ya.
Bye, guys.